Scott. Ask Scott.
Hi Scott, this is Sharon here from Wales in the UK. Thanks for all your information. I love listening to your podcasts. I'm just about to start my first listing on Amazon. It's in the clothing section, and the only difference for each item is the colour. So my dilemma is, do I list the items separately or do I list them as a parent-child variation? I have no idea about variations, and I think I'd quite like to get this sorted at the beginning rather than halfway through. Thanks a lot, Scott. Keep up the good work.
Hey, Sharon, all the way from Wales. What's up? Thank you so much for the question. And you guys know I love getting these international listener questions because it's just, we're reaching everyone around the world, the globe. It's just awesome. I just had someone send me an invite to Iceland. They're like, Scott, I've got a condo out here. Would love to have you come and, do a little meetup here and you can stay at the condo that I guess it's like a rental property or something in Iceland. So it's really, really awesome. And just so blessed to be able to reach all of you around the globe. So I just want to say, whether you're in Florida, whether you're in New York, whether you're in Scotland, hey, I just want to say you guys are awesome. So thanks, and keep the questions coming. All right, so to answer your question, this is a good question, and I've had this question asked a few different times, a few different ways. Yours is, I think, the best way to launch what you're doing is by launching a parent listing, okay, and then having variations underneath that, because you can have a red shirt, let's say, a blue shirt, a yellow shirt, a white shirt, right? But then you're going to also need sizes underneath there as well. So it can get a little complicated, but it doesn't have to be. Again, I would start off with probably the top, one or two colors, and then I would branch out from there, because when you're doing variations like this, you could have a lot of inventory needed to get launched, right? We're talking about if we just have one product, one SKU, and all we have is sizes. Let's say we have 4 different sizes we're going to offer in a t-shirt. Well, we have a t-shirt, okay, we have a color, so that's one variation, and then we have the sizes off of that. So now that's four different inventory SKUs that we need, right? Now let's add a color to that, blue. Now all of a sudden we've got a variation now with also 4 more colors, or not, sorry, 4 more sizes. So now we have, now we really have 8 different SKUs, right? So I would say start off with the 1 or 2 or 3 if you want to, that you think are going to be selling the most. And the way to really do this is to try to reverse engineer what's already happening out there in the space that you're launching into, and look at your competitors and start looking at their sales volume going through certain colors. A lot of people ask this about accessories and stuff, like what color should I launch with? It depends. It really does. But if you look at the history of your competitors and stuff, you'll get a good idea of what you should start with. And again, maybe launching with something at a different color might be a way to differentiate yourself. A way to really know this is, let's say that you went to your competitors and you went to their reviews, and their reviews, they were saying that they love the item, but they wish it came in red. Bang, there you go. Let's launch a red one, right? And that means that you're paying attention to the audience. Or maybe you have the black one and the red one. So again, I would look at and try to see what is currently selling the most of, and then I would launch with that. And again, because you have sizes, if you're in clothing, that's going to be, a challenge. But, again, with any challenge, it's going to make it harder for other people to get in. If you get in, then it's going to eliminate any, not eliminate, but it's going to make the competition less. So I would say parent with variations underneath that parent. I think in this case, that's definitely what I would do, because again, if you try to launch a color off of on a separate parent, it's good. You could take up more real estate, but you're also having to manage those two and really drive those two to rank. But again, it doesn't mean you can't do that. I would just do it the parent and then the variations underneath. And again, you can use those variations as they're separate ranking factors. So you can use the search terms in the back end, the title. You can, do the back end stuff as far as like the details, all that stuff. Your descriptions you can mix up a little bit. Your bullets you can mix up a little bit. So you can kind of get the same thing as if you were to have separate listings, except you don't have to manage the separate listings. The only thing you won't do is you won't see like two variations showing up on the same page. It'll be only the one that's going to show up. And usually the one that's showing up is the one that's selling the most. So hopefully that's been helpful. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business. And this way here, you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.